1. Structure of the brain and its evolutionary significance. The human brain is one of the most intricate and extraordinary organs found in nature, responsible for regulating, coordinating, and integrating the countless functions necessary for life. However, the brain is not merely a biological structure, it is the refined outcome of millions of years of evolutionary development. Through this long evolutionary journey, the brain has acquired the capacity not only to control internal bodily processes but also to interpret, analyze, and respond to information received from the external environment. Although the brain weighs roughly between 1.3 and 1.5 kilograms, it consumes nearly 20% of the body's total energy, far more than its physical size would suggest. It contains about 100 billion neurons, each forming thousands of connections known as synapses, resulting in trillions of communication pathways. These pathways serve as the foundation for cognition, memory, emotions, decision-making, perception, and creativity. The brain is primarily divided into three major structures: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem, each fulfilling specialized responsibilities while functioning in perfect coordination. Evolutionarily, the most advanced portion of the brain is the neocortex, which governs language, logic, abstract thinking, and conscious awareness. This advanced structure distinguishes humans from all other species, making it the source of human intelligence, reasoning, and cultural development. 2. Cognitive role of the brain: perception, consciousness, and the emergence of knowledge. From a scholarly and cognitive perspective, the brain holds central importance because all higher mental functions, perception, consciousness, interpretation, and reasoning, originate within it. When a person sees, hears, touches, or smells something, sensory organs merely collect raw data, while the brain processes, organizes, and assigns meaning to that data. Knowledge arises when the brain integrates new sensory input with stored memories and past experiences, ultimately producing understanding and insight. Language comprehension is deeply rooted in this cognitive architecture. Areas such as the Broca's area and Wernicke's area are primarily responsible for language production and comprehension, showing how strongly linguistic capability depends on neural structure. Consciousness, our awareness of ourselves and our surroundings, remains one of science's greatest mysteries. Some neuroscientists argue that consciousness stems from synchronized activity across networks within the neocortex, whereas others believe it emerges from specific electrical and chemical patterns. Regardless of the interpretation, the brain is not only the interpreter of reality but also the center of the subjective experience we call self. Thus, intellectually speaking, the brain is the locus where raw information transforms into meaningful knowledge. 3. Scientific role of the brain in perception and the sensory system. Scientifically, the brain acts as the essential link between the body and the environment. The senses, sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, are merely gateways through which information enters the body, but the real processing and interpretation occur in the brain. Consider the visual system as an example. The eyes do not actually see objects, they only receive light signals which the retina converts into electrical impulses. The image itself is constructed in the brain's visual cortex, where attributes such as color, motion, depth, form, and spatial orientation are analyzed in separate neural pathways. This is why the brain can be deceived by optical illusions, even though the eyes function normally. Similar processes occur in other sensory systems. The brain is constantly updating sensory information and predicting what will happen next. Thus, neuroscientists often describe it as a predictive machine. This predictive ability allows humans to adapt quickly to changing environments. Whether one is navigating traffic, avoiding danger, or learning to play a musical instrument, it is the brain's ability to anticipate, adjust, and reinterpret sensory input that makes these complex tasks possible. 4. Learning, memory, and neuroplasticity. Human intellectual advancement depends fundamentally on the brain's capacities for learning and memory. Learning occurs when the brain encodes new experiences and stores them in a form that can be retrieved later. This process relies heavily on synaptic plasticity, through which neural connections strengthen or weaken depending on usage. Frequent practice or repetition reinforces specific pathways, enabling skills to become more refined. Lack of use, by contrast, causes these connections to weaken with time. This ongoing capacity of the brain to reorganize itself, known as neuroplasticity, is one of its most remarkable features, enabling humans to adapt throughout life. Memory itself exists in several forms: short-term memory, which holds information temporarily; long-term memory, which stores information for extended periods; declarative memory, responsible for facts and events; and procedural memory, which governs skills and habits. Culture, language, science, reasoning, and even moral values are transmitted through these intricate memory systems. Neuroplasticity also explains how individuals can recover from brain injuries, learn new languages, or develop advanced expertise in fields like mathematics, music, and art. In every case, the brain builds new pathways or strengthens old ones to support learning and adaptation. 5. Emotions, personality, and social behavior. Humans are not purely rational beings. Emotions and personality traits play vital roles in shaping behavior, identity, and interpersonal relationships. These emotional and personality structures also arise from specialized networks within the brain. The limbic system, which includes the amygdala, hippocampus, and related structures, is responsible for regulating emotions such as fear, joy, anger, love, and empathy. The amygdala plays a critical role in recognizing danger and generating immediate emotional responses, while the prefrontal cortex evaluates long-term consequences, controls impulses, and guides moral reasoning. The balance between these emotional and rational systems determines how individuals behave in social contexts. Personality is not a fixed trait but a dynamic product of genetic predisposition, environmental exposure, upbringing, and neural development. Experiences shape the brain, and the brain shapes the personality. This reciprocal relationship explains why human behavior is so diverse. Emotions enable people to form relationships, experience empathy, maintain communities, and engage in cooperative behavior, all essential for human survival and social evolution. Without the brain's emotional architecture, societies, families, and moral structures would never have developed. 6. Philosophical, ethical, and survival roles of the brain. The brain's significance extends beyond biology and neuroscience into philosophy, ethics, identity, and the essence of human existence. The notion of self, the awareness of being an individual, is deeply connected to neural activity, yet its true nature continues to puzzle scientists and philosophers. Consciousness, free will, moral judgment, creativity, and abstract reasoning emerge from networks of neurons, but the exact mechanism behind these phenomena remains elusive. Nevertheless, the brain is undeniably the foundation of human progress. It enables humans to reflect, imagine, invent, plan, and create complex systems such as languages, cultures, sciences, laws, and civilizations. Every technological innovation, scientific discovery, artistic masterpiece, and philosophical insight has emerged from the extraordinary capabilities of the human brain. As fields like artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and biotechnology advance, our understanding of the brain's mysteries is likely to deepen even further. But no matter how much we learn, one fact remains constant: the brain is the seat of human identity, thought, emotion, morality, and survival. It is the organ that makes humanity what it is, capable of introspection, learning, innovation, and the creation of meaning in an otherwise indifferent universe.